So, how would you describe your solo week on Eagle?
Um, chill. Well, guys, if you want to beat the muskies, you've got to be one with the muskies.
Tony calls.
See, I'm back on my. See, I'm back on my bull. Hey, see, I'm back on my bull. Came a long way from school.
Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Unreal. That's unreal.
These peons ain't stepping how my stepping. Walk them down with that teach them a lesson. I've been kicking cool and got paper like Messi. I'm Zion, yo, red. She say that she love how my bitch be dressing. I let all them all go with that neck. My features are good.
Thankfully, the trip started smoothly and the drive up to Eagle was uneventful. There's something about that familiar drive up Highway 502. If you've ever done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a narrow tunnel through boulder cliffs and, evergreen trees and whatnot. And there's just something about that drive that really gets the anticipation building for the trip ahead, and you start to get those butterflies in your stomach as you get closer to camp. And for me personally, when I cross that bridge in Eagle River by the dam, I know my troubles are behind me for at least the next week. And every year as I pull into Pine Beach, I get a little bit more excited because, you go the same time every single year. And the cool part about that is there's a bunch of people that go the same time every year, and you start to get to know those groups of people that go during the same time as you every year. And they become friends, and over time they become more like family, where you have their personal cell phone number and you can give them a call if you have an issue. And it's really, kind of a special dynamic about Pine Beach. It has that family-oriented vibe there in camp, and every year I pull in and get to see the same familiar faces is such a blessing, and I look forward to it all year round. Oh, I don't know where I'm at
You're
yet.
right next to us.
Am I? This
Yeah,
one?
6.
Okay.
We're in 5.
How was the drive?
Oh, good. We did International Falls last week.
Yeah.
So.
Not too bad then. You passed me in Eagle River.
Oh, you were on the side of the road there?
Yeah, I was getting shots of the dam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always try to get shots
Yeah.
of the dam so I remember what the water levels are doing.
Yeah.
But there was no water coming out.
I know, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, yay.
I thought they got rain up here this week, but the road is dusty as hell.
Yeah, it is dusty. There was rain in International Falls last night,
Yeah,
but I don't think they got it up here.
sure. How are you?
I was gonna say, are you kidding me?
I didn't see you over there. How you been? Trouble?
Oh, you know it.
Yeah?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we're all done.
All right, sounds good.
So excited. She asked Allie, she's like, where's Carl and Victoria gonna be? Right?
We're roomies.
Kelly was
After getting everything unloaded for the 2-week stay, we dropped the boat in the water, and this is really the point in the trip where it starts to get real. I mean, the dang thing is floating down there, and I know that all I have to do for the next 2 weeks is walk to the end of that dock, get in that boat, and focus on musky fishing all day, every day. And the interesting thing about arriving into camp and getting the opportunity to fish that first afternoon is I really kind of consider that afternoon and then the next full day to be akin to pre-fishing a tournament. And what I mean by that is I haven't been on this body of water all year. I don't know which basins are firing. I don't know if there's morning windows, evening windows, if they're extremely moon related. Are they relating to the major? Are they relating to the minor? Are they on weeds? Are they on rocks, right? There's all these different factors that we have to consider as part of kicking off our trip. So what I did to put the odds in my favor is I went and fished an area of the lake that has really good diversity of cover and structure elements. It has good weeds, it has good rocks, it has isolated reefs, it has kind of everything you want in a confined area to really try and kind of narrow down what are these fish doing. Are they following straight retrieve? Are they eating rubber? I don't know any of this at this point, right? So I focused my attention on this particular area of the lake, and my goal was to try as many different combinations of baits, cover, structure, etc., focusing mainly on kind of those traditional Shield Lake peak summer patterns. And what I mean by that is a lot of straight retrieve and a lot of speed. And on Eagle Lake, I like to downsize. There's a lot of folks that like to throw big blades. I prefer smaller ones like a 7/8 Huntsy tail banger or a Musky Frenzy 8/9 stagger. So that was the goal. Try as many different combinations of things as humanly possible. And you know, the classic kiss of death in musky fishing is you catch a fish on the first spot. And we had a game plan. I had this spot in mind all winter as I was thinking and planning ahead for this trip. And I went there, and the first spot of the trip gave us our first opportunity. Damn it. Effing thing. Wasn't a big one, but it was the right flavor. Little did I know, but this would be about the smoothest part of my solo week. It didn't take long after missing that first fish for my boat to start acting up, and this was the point in the trip where I started having electronics issues. Essentially, my trolling motor would disconnect from my graphs, and it would leave me somewhat blind in terms of boat control and boat positioning. But despite those electronics issues, I pushed it up until the end of legal fishing and really threw the kitchen sink at them to try and earn a bite that first night. But unfortunately, we never even raised another fish that first night. So I guess you could say for that first day, we were working the bugs out a little bit. The next morning I woke up really early to try and get out and take advantage of the low light period to hopefully dial in a pattern for the week, right? We didn't have anything to go off of the night before, so I figured, well, let's get up and take advantage of that early morning period. And the part nobody sees is when you film on these trips, it adds a lot of extra time to everything you do. It's the extra time needed to organize, set up, tear down camera gear in the morning and in the evening, and that doesn't even count the hours of sitting there dropping footage in the evening so you can reformat cards and you're ready to go the next day. Mic check, mic check. And I like to kind of put that setup process in these videos to show everyone, you know, this isn't just strap a GoPro on your head and go. Like, if you want to have a dynamic video with different camera angles and stuff, there's real work that goes into that. But you know, from my perspective, it's just a small price to pay to be able to have these trips documented and kind of keep those memories forever, and to put out videos that I'm proud of and want to attach my name to and release for you guys to enjoy. So once we were all set up, we hit the water, and I had a completely different plan of attack for the first full day from what I had done the day before. I was focusing on clear water basins and deeper edge fishing with pole pause baits. And long story short, I was on fish. I raised 11 fish throughout this full day, but the tricky part is none of them were really active enough to make me draw the conclusion like, yeah, this is what we need to be doing for the rest of our trip. If there's anything I've learned about Eagle over the years, it's that just because you're seeing fish doesn't mean that's where the bitey ones are. So I pretty quickly started to lose confidence in this clear water basin, deeper edge style of fishing that I was going to do. And you know, while I needed to start ruling things out to dial in a pattern, it honestly felt like I wasted a full day fishing the clear water. And to top it all off, my electronics issues were getting worse. What started as just my trolling motor disconnecting was now turning into all of my graphs were disconnecting, and I was losing all my sonar readings. And you know, on an unmapped and unmarked body of water on the Canadian Shield, not being able to read your depths leaves you a little bit uneasy when you're up there in your own boat. And you know, navigation's one thing, but in terms of trying to have success out on the water in terms of catching muskies, we all know boat control is super important in terms of the overall equation. And when you can't position your boat for success, your confidence admittedly starts to dwindle in a situation like that. But you know, once again, we battled through those intermittent electronics issues and we pushed it right up to the end of legal fishing. And I won't lie to you guys, I went to bed and my confidence was dwindling pretty hard at this point. So the next day, I decided to sleep in. And the reason for that was when I went to bed the night before, my phone said that we were supposed to get weather overnight, lightning and thunderstorms, and they were supposed to carry into the low light period in the morning. So I figured, you know, what the heck, we'll get caught up on some sleep. And when I woke up, despite having no discernible pattern from the previous day and a half of fishing, my confidence instantly grew. Instead of storms, we had the perfect rain day for Eagle Lake. I have had some of the best fishing of my life in these conditions on the Eagle Lake. And what we had was an all-day soaker, flat calm, and overcast. Just absolutely dynamite conditions. And I can't overstate that. So instead of spending time to my earlier point in this video to set up cameras, I just jumped in the boat and went straight to the first spot. And that's where we broke the slump for the first time in this trip. And unfortunately it wasn't musky, but it was a giant pike. All right guys, we got the first decent fish of the trip. I wasn't filming, it's literally pouring rain right now. Super bad cold front conditions so far, but we got a giant pike. Big pike on musky spots in a cold front. Tail as old as time. I'm gonna be quick here because the cameras are getting super wet. I'm gonna bump this fish. I think it's probably 40 inches. I mean, it's a really, really nice pike. So we're gonna bump her here and then we're gonna get back to casting. She is. Super, super thick gator. Really cool fish. She's probably not quite 40, but she's long. 39. 39-inch pike. Show her to you again. What a freak of a fish. Just an absolute freak. All right, let's get back to casting. And then on the next spot, we boated the first muskie of the trip on a sick ass figure 80 that I wish was on camera. Gosh, I wish we had the cameras rolling for this fish right here. All right guys, we got the first muskie in the bag. Came in firing up on the Musky Frenzy 8-9 stagger and kind of a custom black nickel color that Nick had sent to me earlier this year. So I'll actually show it to you real quick here. I'm gonna be quick because it's raining real hard on us here. But there she is. It's kind of a, I don't know, like a smoke blade with a nickel blade. And then it's got kind of a greenish tinsel mixed in with the rest of the tinsel. I had to cut hooks on the rubber skirt, but yeah, fish are firing and we're gonna keep casting here. So I'm gonna bump her real quick just to get a feel for size. I think she's mid 40s, and then we will get her back and get back to casting here. So she's super fired up, super duper fired up, super lean, nice long fish. Super cool. How about that, huh? Let's get a bump on her. She's 44 3/4. Yep, 44 3/4. Super, super healthy, lean fish here. This is super fun. Finally on them. We're gonna get her back and get back to casting here. She was fired up, holy cow. And it didn't end with these two fish. I legitimately went on to have the best day of fishing I've ever experienced on Eagle Lake. It included 11 pike over 36 inches, including this 41-inch giant right here. This has been a little bit of a crazy bite window here. I spent all day yesterday actually fishing rocks and stuff, and I just, you know, was raising really lazy fish, good sized fish, but just really lazy fish. And today with the rain moving in, the cold front that pushed in, I'm like, they gotta just push back into the weeds. I haven't been seeing fish in weeds, and I'm like, I'm gonna go hit weed beds, and we're finding them in weeds. It's been great. And I think I might have the biggest pike I've ever caught in my life. My personal best is 42.5. I switched over to a basically a Musky Frenzy 8-9 stagger with the rubber skirt. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And a gold pattern. This weed bed I'm fishing has a lot of suckers in it and kind of rough fish, if you will. So I switched over to basically this this kind of gold pattern here with the rubber skirt, giving those a shot this year, and she crushed me way out on the cast. I actually thought I had like a mid-40s muskie, to be completely honest with you. So she's pretty big. Throwing that on a Thorn Brothers 10-foot extra heavy stealth. Perfect blade rod, perfect. I throw everything on. I throw up to detonators, maybe a little light for detonators and stuff like that. Maybe a little heavy for real small blades like an IC7 or something like that for casting anyway, but perfect for these 8-9s, perfect for 9s, perfect for 10s. Really like it. And then the PC Fun Alios 400 high gear Gen 2. Really like this reel so far. It's been really good to me. I can really burn those blades fast, and even at a medium pace, I can get them moving pretty good and then speed them up if I need to. And on this fish, I didn't need to because she ate it way out there on the cast. So we're gonna pull her out here. We're gonna get a bump on her. Her head is absolutely massive, so I'm thinking she's probably mid-40s, which is a really, really, really damn good pike. And then we'll put her back and get back to casting because I literally made 5 casts from this spot, and this is a well-known musky spot. It's where we have some pretty good luck sometimes. So pull her out here, get a bump, and get back to casting. She is super fired up, super fired up. She's not gonna like this at all. Super long, super long. Oh, she's only 41, wow. I would have guessed she was way longer than that. Look at that thing. Holy cow, what a fish. Get a close up on her here. Look at that thing. That is unfreaking believable. Pike like this, I'm not gonna bat an eye at. I mean, that is a fish anybody would be happy with. Get some stills here. Now we'll get her back here. And then another large and healthy pike. All right guys, we got another giant pike here. This one's probably not quite as big as the others, so I'm not gonna bump it. I would guess this one's like 38 inches, so just a little dent compared to the other ones, but I'm hoping this just means the muskies are gonna slide in here after the cold front, but I'm not seeing a ton of them. I did lose one out on the cast a little bit ago, but anyway, we'll pull this one out, show it to you, get her back. Super green fish. Super healthy fish. Look at that thing, huh? What do you think about that? Beauty, huh? Beauty. Cool. Get picked for a still. Giant pike. Around noon, the rain cleared for a little bit, and I was finally able to set the cameras up. No way. Pretty sure it's a muskie. Oh, hey, it's another big pike. Wow. Unreal. Perfectly pinned. And she's up. Perfect. Cool. Sweet. Another giant pike on the Musky Frenzy 8-9 stagger. Got her in the Tiger Musky Buddy net prototype, which I really like for solo net jobs. This one's, I don't know, mid-30s probably. Crushed me out there on a little weed patch. And yeah, smoke blade, nickel blade, black and green skirt, kinda Cisco-y, if you will. All right, guys, as I just mentioned, another giant pike here. This is the, what, 4th today? Unbelievable day. As far as these are concerned, I mean, it's classic big pike on musky spots in a cold front, and that's exactly what we have today. I finally just got the cameras up and running because it's been raining all day, and we finally had a little bit of a break as I was driving around doing a little bit of mapping and waypointing. Stumbled upon this like tiny little patch of tobacco cabbage, and I'm like, what the heck, I might as well cast it, right? Tiny little gem in the rough, if you will. And this pike blasted me on like the 4th cast, and if I had to guess, it's probably not the only predator in here. So we're gonna show her to you real quick, take some stills, and then get back to casting. There she is. Another big old gator here. This one's probably only, I don't know, 34, 35, something like that. Nice little gator. Get some stills going here. Super cool fish. Super duper cool fish here. And like I mentioned, the pike were everywhere. And it got to the point where I just started shaking them off at the boat if they weren't 40 inches. Nobody's gonna believe this. Nobody's gonna believe this. How? How is that even possible? I'm not even sure if you can see that. See that? They were legitimately stacked on musky spots, which is such a, telltale sign of a cold front on the shield. You've heard Joe Booker say it for years and years and years. Big pike on musky spots in a cold front. Literally, nobody's gonna believe this. But it wasn't just the pike that were active. I had multiple shots at muskies, like this giant that followed and I missed. Then ended up hooking a few casts later and losing. And then it didn't take long, a couple casts later, and I followed up with yet another giant pike. No way. Are you serious? You guys, I am having the most unbelievable day of pike fishing you could ever imagine. We just got another one that's over 36 inches long. Absolutely crushed me out there. I'm a little disappointed because I raised about a 4-foot muskie. I had her come into the boat, she darted off, and then I went to hang it, and I came down into my turn, and she popped on it, and I missed her, and then I doubled back on her. A couple casts later, threw the Musky Frenzy 8-9 out, and she just absolutely crushed me out on the cast. I watched her go like this, head come out of the water, and she spit the bait, unfortunately. And it's too bad too, because it started pouring rain and I had to take my head cam off, so none of the footage is gonna probably even be visible, especially with these plastic bags I got all over the GoPros right now. So anyway, I'm gonna pull this one out, show her to you, and then I'm gonna get back to casting because these fish are all over in here. There she is. Another freak of a pike. Absolute freak. Hold her out here. Super cool fish. Awesome. They're at least keeping me entertained when the muskies aren't cooperating. But yeah, sweet fish. We're gonna get her back here. The bite did ultimately slow a little bit going into the evening hours, but we had a major leading right up until the end of legal fishing, and I knew that would give us another really good opportunity at a fish, and it did just that. What an absolutely unbelievable day. It's too bad it's been raining all day, so you guys can't actually see the carnage today. 11 pike over 36 inches and 2 muskies. This one's actually pretty good. I'm betting this is another mid 40s. I'm actually gonna bump it just to see and show it to you, but we got everything today on the 8-9 stagger. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So this is, again, that smoke blade, nickel blade combo, and we were throwing the rubber skirted ones earlier, catching a lot of pike on those. The muskies have been liking this one. It's pretty similar to the bloody nickels pattern and the Huntsy tails that I like to throw too, which I had a muskie eat that and they ate today and then spit hooks on me. So it's been going good. I had to cut the line. It was a little bit of a shit show there as I was trying to get her in the bag, but let me pull her out here. We'll show her to you and then we're gonna get back to casting because the major just started and we got like an hour left of legal fishing. So I'm trying to capitalize on this. She's gonna kick for sure. Oh man, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Look at that baby. What a freak. All right, let's get a bump on her. Easy, easy girl, easy. 45, just cookie cutter to the one earlier. Look at that thing. Look at her. One more time. Sick. Awesome fish. We're gonna get her back. Holy cow, they're fired up. Wow. She took off like a bat out of hell. I just bumped the trolling motor here. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna get back to casting. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that things can change in a heartbeat on the Shield. Keep your baits wet, put in your time, and keep a positive attitude, and good things will eventually happen. And for me, a day this epic kind of pushed the boat issues I was having to the back of my mind. And I didn't know it at the time, but my success would be short-lived and my boat issues, unfortunately, would soon worsen. I hate this, in case you're wondering. I don't know if that's focusing, but it looks fine.